For this video, I am going to show you around the project and the comps that I made for my vector mask with logo video composite with masks. What a long, boring title. Maybe I'll just play this now to start with. So we're going through the video or the motion graphic. The first thing that you see, and we're going to be popping right back to the beginning, is a vector logo with a brilliant orange background that I created in Illustrator. If I pop right into Illustrator, I'm going to show you the objects that I created in Illustrator. So I've got Illustrator open. Just close this guy up. And I've got the vectors that I created with the ellipse. And I'll just move over and I'll just show you, like, created a perfect circle. I grabbed my anchor point tool. Convert anchor point tool is what this used to be called. Converted the top anchor point. I'm just going to convert that to a miter. And just brought up, by pressing shift, brought up that teardrop shape, and as you can see I've added an ellipse on top. I use the pathfinder to knock that shape out of the other shape. So here's another vector object. I've selected both and I've used the pathfinder to knock out the center. So what I've got here is a vector object with a hole inside of it. And the rest of this was done by creating a line segment and just going to object path and divide objects below, which divided up my shapes. So I'm using the direct selection tool, and here we've got the space between. Oops, sorry about that. Select all of it, just so you can see that there's a space between everything. So I then added text, and this text, if I open up the character panel again, I believe this typeface is called Alice. Let's take a look. And we will type in Alice. Yes, it is. The typeface is called Alice. Pretty cool. So we'll get rid of that. So what I've created is this multi-pieced logo, and I've also got another one that has the vector shapes all punched out of a rectangle. So if I pop back into After Effects, that's what you're seeing here. This is the logo. That's this guy. So it is showing up. It's an AI file. So it was imported into After Effects as an Illustrator file. The black areas are invisible. So AI files travel with transparency. So I have transparency on this object, and for the beginning of this footage here, that's in my preview, you can see, and I'll just make sure that you can see this. You can see right through it. But at the beginning, you can't see through it. It is white. So what I've added is a white shape layer. So this is a rectangle. So I'll just make it invisible. So what's going on is this vector object, which is the rectangle that has the holes punched out of it. I did that with the pathfinder in Illustrator and imported this AI. We can see that we can see right through to the video layers that are playing below. So it's, in essence, it's moving. So I'll just play this and let it go through its preview. So you're seeing the video through the holes, right? So it's like a little window or a clipping mask or a mask. Okay, so we'll just work on this first part. But I thought it was a little bit I don't know, I guess hard to read at the beginning. So I created a vector shape and I placed it back there, and it is underneath the orange, I guess the scrim in a way, or the logo with the knockouts in it. So what's happening is this orange mask is in front of the video footage and it slowly disappears. So the opacity is at 100% for the beginning of the graphic. Let's put that back. And it slowly starts to disappear until it's completely out. And I'm going to close that one up, swizzle that one open, and we've got this object. This is the white rectangle. It starts out at 100% and it slowly starts to fade. So we've got a whole bunch of things happening here. We've got that mask that has the holes punched out of it, and we've also got opacity happening over time. So we're revealing what's happening in the video below. And then when both objects have disappeared, we've got the video playing. So this is a video of me hanging out in my bathroom. And I've got three stills that are moving in space in the After Effects space. So I've got my project laid out pretty organized with folders that have my audio. It's got my two comps, my original comp, which was a completely huge multi-layered object, which I output as a comp, and then I brought in to work on the different sections. So I brought in some really cool, open this up, it's called a CC light sweep. So I've got a light sweep coming in. That is, let's see, it must be up here. I guess it's in this part. So I've got a light sweep. You can see that band of light moving through the video. So these were extra effects that I added to the comp. I've got my logos, which I imported, so I can double click on these and Command plus to make them larger. So this is a logo that has the text in white. This is the logo with the text in white, and I believe this is the logo with the text in black. Sorry about that. So mono with the little light bulb pieces at the top are in black, so you can't see them because the background of the project is black. So those are my logos that I brought in. And I've got some adjustment layers. I've got stills, so I'll just show you what the stills look like. So we've got a brutalist building called the Public Safety Building in Winnipeg. We've got a image, oh, 4 stills, sorry, image of some pine trees along the highway, like the Twin Peaks pine trees in the highway. And we've got the Winnipeg Planetarium. And I've also got a Rorschach ink blot, which comes in. And then my videos. So I'll just quickly show you what the videos look like. We can get these guys to open. I think those are extras. So here are the 4 that I used. So that's 1. That's 2. That's 3. And that's 4. Super short clips that I brought in and manipulated. And I'm going to go back to the comp to look mysterious and wonderful. So what I've done to these video clips is I've masked them and allowed the stills that are behind them to be revealed. So we've got this multiple exposure thing going on. Just going to move this timeline up. There we go. So I'm going to go back to my original comp. That's my multiple exposure comp. Don't be afraid. It's quite an alarming amount of layers in this comp, but I'm going to go in and I'm going to identify that one, and I'm going to go inside it and just show you that this thing has a vector mask on it. So this vector mask is revealing what's inside and concealing what's outside. And if I pull it open and just turn off my adjustment layers that are making this video black and white, let's see, there must be another one here. And we've got a bunch of things going on. There's some transparency on the video, there's some adjustment layers affecting the colors, we've got masking happening. So what I've done is I masked out the background by creating a vector mask with the pen tool. So you can see the shower curtain back there again. Actually in color it looks kind of interesting, so I'm just going to play this and see without the adjustment layer that is making this black and white. And I mean, I've got a lot of other adjustment layers. There's contrast. Cool. Okay, so I'll just turn those back on. And Illustrator, InDesign, and After Effects, great programs for Command Z. So if I Command Z, that vector mask is going to go back in place. Okay, so this is where I started from. So the vector mask is on the clip, the video clip, and I'm just going to show you how to do that. I'll make a new comp and file new composition. I'm going to leave this the same size, the same frame rate as my project, and I'm going to go in and I'm going to drag in one of these videos. So I guess I'll start out with a different one. I'm going to start out with this one because this one's kind of cool. It's Wall Street, New York Stock Exchange. Okay, so we've got this video. I'll just let it play. It's very short. Wild. Okay, so I've got this video, and I might just want a little bit of it, the part at the very beginning. Okay, so I'm going to add a vector mask to this to mask out the rest of this file. I'm just going to make it a little bit bigger. So I've clicked on the edge, and I'm pressing Shift to make sure that the file is constrained, so that's pretty easy. I can grab my pen tool. So I grab my pen tool and make sure that the video layer is selected, and I can start clicking to make this mask. And it's pretty straightforward because it is mainly straight angles. And if I do something wrong, I can go back in time. If I want to have a curve, I click and I drag with the pen. This mask can be edited after I make it. To close it, I click on the first point with the last point, and now you can see I have a mask associated with my video layer. So that means that anything that's is going to be revealed. So got that happening here. Now the mask has shown up in the layer stack, and the mask itself can have all sorts of effects applied to it, and I can open that up and I can have it feathered. So you can see that here we've got a feathered edge, and we've got the opacity of the mask expansion, etc. So here I've added a feather, and you can't really tell what's going on until I add more layers. So if I bring in, I guess I could bring in another I'll just bring in another video, see what that looks like. So we've got video playing. Of course you can't see it because it's not large enough, so I'm going to make the video behind it a little bit larger. Make sure I have my selection tool selected. The V is the key command. So if you have a tool selected and you press V, it changes or toggles to the other tool. Click and then press Shift to make that file larger. You can click on the file above and you can make that file a little bit smaller. Goofiness ensues, and I'm going to just play. So silly, but you get the idea. We've got a video file on top with that mask. The mask has a feather on it, and I can make this thing a little bit larger so you can see it here. We've got a feather on the edge, so that's that feathered edge. So if we have no mask feather, we've got a hard edge. So one video is playing on top of another. Command 0 should make my screen smaller. Command 0 brings it full screen, and Command minus and plus make that larger and smaller. And then click, drag down. So we've got these two video clips, one masked and one revealed or revealing from the background. Hope that makes sense, guys. So that is really what was happening in my comps here. So I've got just a whole bunch of videos. I've got 4 videos of myself in the same scene, just kind of moving my eyes and head around. And I've got these, I'll go back to the multiple exposure one. We've got the stills down here, the brutalist architecture. So if I close off everything else, you can see my stills here. That is that public safety building upside down. I'm going to reveal this. So we've got a lot of keyframes making that thing move. It's got scale, position, rotation, and opacity happening. I'll turn these back on. And these guys. It's that building in the background, kind of moving around the ghostly image. And I'll turn some of these on. So we've got quite a lot of business happening in the motion graphic. I'll zoom up to my comp and I'll just play it again. The masking on the videos are displaying in front of all of these project, or in this comp, are the videos of me in the bathroom. So that is this one, this one. I'll just stop it. So what I've done is I've created a mask with my pen tool, and I've clicked around the head. I've also, of course, rotated the video, which is pretty easy, and I'll just drag that down. We'll just play around with this. Close that up and put it on top so you can see it. There we go. So here's the video. I click with my move tool. Should be able to move that. So there we are. So now I'm in the composition instead of just in the footage. Sorry about that, guys. So here we go. I am going to rotate with the rotate tool. If I want to keep that on a straight angle, I use my shift. If I want to make this footage bigger, click on the V and use shift to constrain. Okay, zooming out, making this a little larger. Right there. Scrub through. Okay. Just a little smaller, and grab my pen tool. Make sure that I've selected the layer. Click, click, click. If I want curves, I click and drag. And as I say, you can edit the mask later. So now easily we have a mask. So that mask, of course, is going to reveal or allow the rest of the footage to be seen below. So we've got that footage in there, right? We've got all of the stills moving, and we've got the adjustment layers making this black and white. I've also added a shape layer. It's boogieing through. This is a rectangle on the top of, and I'll close this new video footage up and zoom in a little bit. So that new shape layer is just making everything look a little bit purple. So let's see, turn it off. Put that one back on. Okay, so we've got that mask, and we've got the mask, which is a hard edge. So if I open up the video footage, I open up the mask, and I open up mask 1, because there's only one mask on that video footage or on that layer. So you can have multiple masks. If I want some of the polka dots to show through, or if this was a video that had more elements that I wanted to show, I could make multiple masks. Here I'm just feathering the mask, so it is has a feathered edge. If I want to move these points around so that I'm clicking and moving the points, so you can be very precise. Obviously zooming in and making sure that you're selecting, see that I'm selecting the whole mask, or if I want to, I have to be very precise and select the pieces, the points. So we've got that video footage ready.